We have 3 months to plan our Radical Living Challenge, and we have been moving around a lot, as you all know, and so we are super excited to be able to have fun and make the plan.
Yeah, I found out that the RV is ready.
It's done. It was built.
Finished.
It's done.
And I watched a whole video about the process of them building, which may seem boring, but was actually really cool.
It's so clean in that damn factory.
They're magicians, it's clockwork.
Our date for pickup, unless something goes wrong, which it seems like it's not, is March 28th, 2022. So we have that as our target date to be in Indiana, where we are gonna pick up our rig, which we have not yet named. So here's what we did, is that at the beginning of the time here, I had already been working on sort of like what's the goals and the vision for 2022. And what I realized were that some things were just like process goals and habits that we've developed as a couple and individually over the last years. And one of those things is making sure that we schedule specific time for dates and time to just hang out. So we sat down and we were like, what are some cool things we want to do together as a couple to create connection and have fun together, so that we are really taking advantage of this beautiful community that we're living in. And so we decided to put a date day in Joshua Tree on the calendar. We did have 2 fights. However, I do think that those were very important fights because I feel like we might have solved a big problem maybe.
Yeah, I passed out, so I don't really remember what happened.
Just had a fight, but luckily I brought my knitting so I can meditate.
What are you knitting?
I'm knitting a Dolcetta cardigan with a shawl collar.
Is it hard?
No, it's very easy and it's very relaxing, and I'm really glad I brought my knitting, and it does calm me. And
Is that why you're knitting, to stay calm?
yes, it is. But it's very hard to knit when you're off-roading. I might accidentally stab you with the knitting needle. It was really, really beautiful, and
There's so much to explore there. It's
yeah,
so cool.
It was really beautiful. So that was super fun date day.
It sounds calculated, but time can go by and we won't see each other because we're busy, and so it's important to do that.
Like at least once a day, and we head out for half an hour or so, and it's really nice to just connect and talk and get our circulation going. And then we sort of had to look at this monumental list. So we started out with like, okay, it's the beginning of January. We have like 90 days. We have 3 months. What are all the tasks that we're gonna do? And we have this little grid for like each week in January, each week in February, and each week in March. And we put different tasks or projects that are gonna be done in each week.
I think it just decreases the overwhelm.
It does sound crazy because we're literally like going in I do it on a paper planner, but Jeremy's doing it on his electronic calendar, but it's like from 9 to 12, I'm gonna do this. And the thing that's been really cool is we're scheduling in like the fun stuff too, right? So like, what are times that we can go to the driving range because we're taking golf lessons? What's the time, we can just go sit out by the pool, right? And I wanna make sure that I can eat lunch, or you're like putting in time to like stretch or meditate or have your morning routine. And so it's really the most, for me, I've been doing this for a while, but I'm excited that you're doing. It's like the secret to like, how do you get a lot of stuff done and not feel stressed and still have balance? And it's just by focus, I think.
A little bit about the trip planning. Basically, the end of March, we're going to pick up in Indiana. This is where it's being built. We need to be in Iowa for a wedding in August, but we're going to want to come down, Smoky Mountains, Carolinas. We'll save Florida for the winter because we're trying to follow the weather. So then we'll start coming west, and this has been nixed. Now we want to go to Memphis, come through here, San Antonio, Austin maybe, and then up to New Mexico, Santa Fe. We've lived in California, we did Washington and Oregon already. Still tons to do, beautiful, but really want to focus on Colorado. So we're trying to spend 2 or 3 weeks there at least. And Idaho. Done some of Wyoming, Yellowstone. Definitely want to show you the Teton Range, Jackson Hole. And anyway, yeah, come around here and then we'll start on this next leg. Try and get over to the East Coast by the fall. Late summer, fall. We'll do a week in each place, but this is still a rough plan. You can just play around with it. You can see 3,800 miles. You can drag these wherever you want. So that's the first leg. This is the second leg. This would be maybe the third leg. And then I'm just zooming in and I'm just saying, okay, do you want to go here? Do you want to go here? And this is just the start. So all of this stuff has got to fit into the RV. Bikes, surfboards, golfing equipment, gym equipment here, which we already took. We know we can fit this. We're saving a space for that, for the Peloton.
So we have on our plan in early March to kind of do a whole nother decluttering and get rid of stuff that we're not actually using. And it just feels really good to we've been doing Sunday night planning and just really look at that list that we made and be like, great, this is what we're doing. And then at the end to be like, we did this, we didn't do this. And so we just are able to still have fun and get stuff done and get ready in a way that feels peaceful and joyful for our radical living adventure. Woohoo! We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Our virtual event, we're gonna go to South Dakota and officially become residents of that great state. And we're both really making sure that we are putting focus on mindfulness and really being the best versions of ourselves so that when we get in that 40 feet, it's gonna be super fun.
That's the hard work.
Yeah,
it's gonna pay off.
It is gonna pay off.
I'm doing some coaching and I'm doing some really good work, so
one of the things that really was part of the catalyst of this whole thing was the whole empty nest syndrome, and really having that moment where the kids were like, I'm gonna go to New York and I'm gonna go do this, and and it was like they're living this amazing life, right? And so I just think it's been really awesome that we are doing our life plan and our kids are living their own versions of life on their terms. And Chloe's doing digital nomad stuff, working remotely in Mexico, and Reina's in New York, checking out Vermont in the snow with her boyfriend. Willa's loving life at college. And I just feel like we're all doing and pursuing our separate interests, but we have this shared value of new and novel experiences and adventure. And it's just really fun to be in connection with them, hearing about all their adventures, and all of us are really living life on purpose, and it feels really good.
Yep. Yeah, I'm proud of them.